Hi, everybody. This is me, and this is my go. So I want to start by talking about manufacturing. New manufacturing technologies promise to make custom products as accessible as those produced in a factory. This promise, often termed mass customization, is an exciting development for product design. It presents new challenges, however, for designers and demands new participation from customers. Because when physical form is as flexible as software, we'll need to rethink how we make, sell, and buy products. And we can't overlook design for the sake of technology. I'm Steve Faletti, as I said, and I've created a process I've termed contextual customization, which uses computer interface models that align designers' intentions with customers' choices and modify forms based on preference and self-identity. It aims to bring the best parts of design into the new manufacturing paradigms we're about to encounter. Let's take a look at a few existing systems, because there are already mass customization businesses in place. Data entry is fairly popular, usually using text, provides intuitive control, and allows for very literal meaning. So here we have a cup or candle holder made from text. Data visualization brings the ability to inject personal narrative into a product. So here we have geographic data turned into jewelry and household products. And finally, we have direct manipulation, very popular, and it puts near complete control in the hands of the customer. This is jewelry. We can think about these and many others that I won't be able to get to today as design systems, each of which seeks to meaningfully connect a person with a product. I'd like to examine our presiding design system, mass production, and compare it with elements of contextual customization. Under mass production, an industrial designer serves as a liaison between the factory, which wants to make many exact replicas of one thing, and the customer, who has unique needs and desires. This is a careful balance mired in compromise and complexity. Under a system of mass customization, the factory's needs are no longer an issue. New technology makes production flexible and adaptive to nearly any design in any quantity with no tooling required. However, the designer's relationship with the customer changes, as she is now responsible for creating forms and features that work within this adaptive structure. A computer interface is the most likely means to enable that adaptive structure, and now we have a new design system. So let's look at the roles of each member in this new system. Industrial designers are trained to find commonality among user needs and translate that into static form. This process, called synthesis, is still integral to the design process, even when based around customization, and is dependent upon the training and talent of a good designer. Computers may seem pretty magical, but all they really do is count and remember. I don't see a computer replacing the sensitivity and sensibilities of a human being anytime soon. They are, however, very good at iterating over small details. The customer gets to do what they've always done, share preferences and choose results. Under this new structure, however, the customer does it before the product is made, and the information she shares directly affects the thing she gets. Let's look at each of these parts in greater detail and see how they fit in a system of contextual customization. I've chosen eyewear to demonstrate this idea, as it provides a unique set of requirements around function, fit, and fashion, but these ideas can be applied to product design in general. So as we saw, the computer is the center of this new design system, and computers need numbers to be useful. So how do we quantify design? We can start with form. Thankfully, form and data are already tightly related in the design process. In fact, for a large part of the time spent getting a product into the world, form is data. Here we see computer-aided design, or CAD software, being used to lay out an eyewear frame concept. So we've seen that form can be quantified. Great. Now what? Let's turn to the designer. We need to ascribe numeric values to design intent. So how does the designer work within our new custom structure? Inspiration and trend images are already commonly used as design stimuli. They're tied to form, and they drive design intent today. We can isolate these images, and we do, and couple them to a design, creating a connection between intent, which we struggle to measure, and form, which we just saw we can easily quantify. So now we have design intent and data tied, and thankfully, fortunately, we're using tools and processes that designers are already comfortable with. So there's nothing that new happening. Design, though, is a question of millimeters, especially with something like eyewear. Tiny, subtle changes to a form have huge impact on how it's received by a particular customer. A product typically goes through many changes and variations, and under mass production, our current system, the limitations of a factory require that a compromise has to be found between these. So typically what you see is we come up with one design for one customer model, and when we want to reach other customers, we make other designs. So what we have now is a deluge of products, and whenever you go to buy anything, you have to sort between hundreds, sometimes thousands of things on a shelf that might meet your needs. But under contextual customization, the associated forms are data, and the computer within our system can easily find points between these design directions. So instead of having the 5 iterations that we see here, we can literally make thousands or even millions of variations possible, and we don't have to produce thousands of each of those iterations. We can just make one. When we look at the customer, our last part of our system, under contextual customization, the customer is the driving force behind this final form, yet she's not expected to make design decisions or determine what her eyewear should look like. Instead, she's simply asked to provide information about her personal preferences and her self-identity. We can bring the inspiration images from the design process forward and use them as the interface elements to quantify customer preference and enable the computer to make those formal iterations. So here we see changes in preference, which are expressed as numeric values. The computer sees these as changes in form. The customer has created her own product that meets her unique needs and serves her unique tastes, just by sharing details about that which she knows the best, herself. Broadly speaking, most design processes follow a pattern of idea generation, concept iteration, and design assessment. Prior to contextual customization, this was all done in the design studio in service of the limitations of a factory. Now, that pattern can be exposed and used to derive meaningfully customized products, and lots of them. Thank you very much.